Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Jobless Weebs. I'm Brian, and with me today,
Marco the Vivo Mexican.
the one and only very famous the guy.
I mean, 600 and something people.
Oh
that,
yes.
I don't know that many people, so do you know how many that is? It's like if you put them all together in a room, that's a lot of people.
A lot of people. That is a lot of people.
Nowadays, especially I think in YouTube, it's like, oh, 1 million subscribers, and it's like if you have less than 1 million, it's like, oh, you're a nobody. It's like, dude, do you have an idea how many 600 people is? Like, it's a lot of people.
Oh, true.
But
That's a good point. I like that idea. Yeah.
How have you been, Brian?
I've been pretty good. Getting a lot of sleep and watching a lot of the current season anime, so I'm having a blast. The Days with my stepsister, still comedy gold, but yeah, it's like very, very atmospheric, I would say, because it's very slow paced, very like it shows you the setting and stuff along with the story. So yeah. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot more of the Too Many Losing Heroines.
Oh yes.
And My Wife is a Robot.
Oh yep. Yeah. She's no feelings. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Well,
it's pretty interesting.
She kind of does.
She does, doesn't she?
Because she, like later in the story, like how far the anime is, it's been said that she was kind of like modded.
Oh yes.
To kind of like assimilate something related to emotions, and it's like, what the freak is happening here? But oh man, this is our tradition, and this is also the season finale. That's
right. What we'll be watching for this upcoming anime season.
Yeah, we will not be gone that long, hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. But yes,
But as of right now, this is the last episode with this studio or background. So yeah.
We'll jump on in then.
We have again a lot of returning ones. We have a lot of second seasons, third seasons.
Yeah, quite a
few we might just do honorable mentions, because if you haven't watched the first season, I mean, there's no point in us telling you what the second or third season or whatever season it's coming.
That's
so mostly we're only gonna focus on the new upcoming ones, or some that the new season, like it's years apart from the previous one. Like when I say years, I say like at least 4 or 5 years apart.
Okay.
But let's start again.
The first few ones we have Re:Zero, third season, so that's going to be quite fun. I know that one is a pretty well-known one for isekai type anime, and the guy has quite a power to just die over and over again, like a save point. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. I think I might give it a try.
I did watch the first and second season.
Yeah.
When they were airing. So I was like, you know what? Like, I wouldn't like to be isekai'd in his world.
Oh no.
Or with his power.
Yeah.
I think like the crappiest isekai that I would want to go would be Re:Zero or Kazuma's isekai. Because let's be honest, Kazuma's isekai is also pretty crappy.
Yeah, it is. You die just from the shock.
but oh man, we have another honorable mention, I guess. Blue Lock. Yep. I've never watched this one, but I dive into the fandom a little bit, and people is hyped.
Oh yeah,
they were really hyped. They were like, "Whoa, this is great!"
Yeah,
and this is shonen sports. It's more shonen than sports.
In sports, yes.
So yeah, if you like those kind of like superpowers kind of thing, power ups, it's like this is the one for you. Second season, but one of the ones that it's coming. It's a psychological one. It's a manga.
Yes.
It's ended.
Oh,
The
it
manga
has?
is completed.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't have that many chapters. It's called Uzumaki.
Mm.
This is not a thriller one. This is not a scary one. This is more of a creepy one.
Oh, okay.
It's really creepy. It just makes you kind of like your skin
crawl.
crawl.
Oh man.
Because it's like it's
That-
not
that would be
exactly
creepy.
it's not exactly a horrifying one that makes you afraid of things. It's more like that looks so creepy.
Oh,
And you're like,
okay.
ugh.
Yeah. Oh man.
So-
I
so-
don't really go for that type of
I
story.
I neither, but I was like, I'm gonna give it a try.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and
Give it a try.
Uzumaki, it goes to a lot of things that are in spirals. Like the Uzumakis,
the spirals.
like a lot of things go like the author somehow made that the plot revolves around a lot of spirals or spiral shaped things or events, and it's just really creepy. His art is so good but so creepy
Oh yeah.
that just by reading the manga you're like, ugh. and some of the main characters, they're a bit dumb.
Oh, okay.
I mean, to my unbiased opinion.
Oh, sure.
Spoiler alert,
Yeah.
is super biased.
Okay.
But yeah, like if you like creepy shows, because I'm sure there's a market for that. Because otherwise, why didn't it have why doesn't it have like just
anime,
stood as a manga?
Oh yes.
It's because there's a market for that. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it might even be adapted completely this season.
Oh really? Okay. It's that short. Yeah. The one I'm looking forward to, it was Dan to Dan. It's another like psychological thriller type of anime where this guy, he believes in the
In aliens, right?
in aliens. Yeah, he believes in aliens, and then she believes in the occult and like supernatural type stuff. So they both dare each other to go out and like experience the one that they don't believe in. And then they run into problems where there's like the turbo grandma, and then she runs into aliens that abduct her, and it's like really wacky and really weird because then he like merges with the turbo grandma, and he gets like haunted because of that. So then yeah, it's so weird. It's a weird thing to describe. And then like sometimes the power manifests in him, but she can suppress that power. So she has to be around him like 24/7. So yeah, and of course it has like some other strands of the story.
Well, we have a lot of wacky shows this season.
Yes.
So.
Yes, yeah. So that's gonna be.
I'm sort of like not surprised. We have 4 honorable mentions. The Spirit Chronicles season 2.
Yeah.
Standard Isekai.
Yeah.
A dude that was Isekai by a train, I believe. Well, he was on a bus.
Oh yes.
Also, Arifureta. From Commonplace to World's Strongest, season 3. This is pure garbage.
Oh yes.
I watched this garbage.
Oh yes, I'm guilty too.
Guilty as charged. And it's this guy with his harem, but he mainly wants the vampire girl that he saved. We continue with the 1,000-Year Blood War from Bleach.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm blank on that one. So
okay.
One of these days I might get into Bleach.
Yeah.
I've never got into. And the last honorable mention, at least for now, Shangri-La Frontier, Kusuge Hunter Kamige ni Idonman Tusu, second season. And in here we just continue with our main character, how he makes his team, how they are trying to hunt kind of like the sacred beasts of the game.
Yes.
What I like about this anime is that
Yeah.
it doesn't focus only on the Shangri-La Frontier game, or it's not one of those like other animes like Lock Horizon that or Sword Art Online that they got trapped in the game. This is a game. Right. This is just a game that for some reason, like the character or like it's a world in itself that that the world they see the players as some sort of entity, but they're not trapped there because they can log out. And I don't think they made any hints so far that they will be trapped forever. But one of the things is that the main character, the guy with the bird mask, and his team, they are hunting this sacred beast, but they are not hunting them in order. So the developers are freaking out because they're like, how did they beat that boss? Like, he was not supposed to be beaten until these other bosses were beaten. And they were like, I don't know, man, I don't know. And so it's causing some chaos in the game, but nothing that it's like really life-threatening. Or game-breaking,
True.
And speaking of games,
we have the Sword Art Online alternative Gale Online 2. So I'm guessing that's the second season, right?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the previous season came out some time ago.
Yeah, I think the first season came out like in 2017 or so.
Okay. A1 Pictures, so that's going to be pretty good. Another upcoming anime would be Ao no Hako, or I think it's like Blue...
Yeah, Blue Box.
Blue Box, yes. This one is a sports anime where this guy, he's playing badminton and the girl plays basketball. And it's a really great one with a love triangle, essentially. So
yeah, man,
I feel so sad always when there's a love triangle.
I mean, there's always a love like most of the time. Like nowadays with a lot of animes, like now it's really weird. But I actually like this one. I've been reading it, and this one had a one shot where the guy, he was a volleyball player, and the girl was a basketball. So now, after it started serialization, they changed for the guy to be a badminton player. Like the main girl, still a basketball player, and the love interest that causes the triangle, she's a gymnast.
Okay, yes, a rhythm gymnast.
Yeah. And the thing with this really one, it's not actually, I wouldn't call it a sports. This is more like a shoujo sports, because it's actually more focused on the relationship, or like the relationship between the boy and the girl, or between like its surroundings, rather than the sports. Of course, they do focus on the sports, like the badminton side or the basketball side. Yeah, but it is mostly how Taiki and Chinatsu came to live together.
Yes. Yep.
Because reasons.
Yep.
And Taiki is like, no, it would be weird if we're in a relationship, if we live together.
Yeah. So he holds off from his confession.
And at the same time, both of them are like, no, the sport is my passion right now, so I want to focus on that. And if I focus on something else, I think that I would be, not putting as much effort on the sport. And it's just a lot of drama.
It is quite a lot of drama. Yeah.
So, but it's not about drama, but like it's like, I think that putting the gymnast girl as a possible love interest was a bad move. Like, just make it a friend. Like, don't like. Can this be platonic?
That's the thing with love triangles. There's usually unrequited love, but there's one thing going for it that I do like, that the rhythmic gymnast, she does confess, but she, Well, that's maybe also problematic too. Actually, now that I think of it,
Yeah.
because she confesses, but she doesn't deserve. She doesn't demand an answer right away.
Yeah, and the other
Yeah,
thing with
that's the
Chinatsu
thing.
is that Chinatsu is like, oh, you are really good friends with the gymnast girl. He's like, are
Yeah.
you jealous? No, 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 it's not my problem. It's like, oh, for beep's sake. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you
That
know, it's
is.
like, yeah, teenage love. The next one, it's called You Are Miss Servant. Now, actually, it's like you are Mrs. Maid.
Mm-hmm.
So Kimi wa Maid Osama. This is a weird one, okay? Because at the beginning it starts as a slice of life.
Uh-huh.
He's this dude, Hitoyoshi.
Mm.
He lives alone. His father, I mean, he's both his parents, and I think he has also a sister. They are alive, but he lives alone in his house. And
Mm-hmm.
one day, this beautiful lady comes dressed as a maid and asks for a job. And he's like, how do you know me? He's like, oh yeah, I have
Oh
I
yeah.
have someone that knows your dad, so he told me to come here.
Mhm.
And long story short, turns out that the girl is a professional assassin, and like
Naturally,
a high ranked one,
I bring naturally.
and she sucks at cleaning. And for the most part of like the beginning of the manga, and I believe here in the anime,
Ah,
it seems like a slice of life comedy of
yeah.
just them spending their days, and especially her kind of
Oh
like
yeah.
trying to make that transition between the ruthless world of assassination and the
Mm,
underworld to
to the cleaning world.
to a normal life.
Yes. Yeah.
But then it makes a turn super weird, because
Really?
like
Okay.
people that have a beef with her
Mm,
start things, and
I see.
it suddenly turns into a shonen, like an action shonen, like with arcs, and like, oh, they're gonna
Oh.
be uh bigger, stronger enemies, and then you learn about her
Okay.
past and how she has a sister, and that the sister wants to kill her. And then you also
Mm.
learn about his dad, and then there's some supernatural stuff about the dad that they hint. And
Oh,
it's like, what the
weird.
heck is
Okay.
happening
It
here?
goes into left field then. Yeah.
So
I
I don't think they're
see.
gonna go. I mean, the anime is not gonna go that far.
Mhm.
So if it just stays as kind of like a romantic slice of life, it will
Mhm.
be like a good watch.
Oh, I
Because
see. Yeah.
otherwise, I just thought that it was really convoluted.
Okay. So this next one is Kekkan Surute Honto desu ka? Or 365 Days to the Wedding. This one is going to be really lighthearted. It's going to be something. Well, there are some elements to it which are like mature. Uh, so there's these two people in a travel agency, and they are single, and they are actually very quiet and very reserved type of people. And the thing is that this travel agency opens up a branch in a far off land, like over in the other side of the world, uh, and
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in Russia, right?
somewhere in Russia,
Like a city in
Siberia.
Russia,
Yeah,
Siberia or something
yeah,
like that.
something like that. So it's really really far removed, right? But you see, these two, they're in jeopardy of going over there because the travel agency says, "Oh, anyone who's available, like to go over there, is anyone who's not married, who are single." So they're in danger of being sent over there and having their quiet lives disrupted. So of course they don't want that. So what do? They pretend that they're getting married. And then, oh my gosh, chaos ensues. Their lives get upended. They're thrown together into this marriage, uh, um, to be, and so they're basically fake fiancés, but um, they actually start learning how to live their lives with the other. involved with their lives. So it's a really
Yeah. How far
really
did you get in the manga?
I got to pay like chapter 70 something. I read a ton of it.
Okay, yeah,
I think there's like 100 and
yeah, this is a
Yes.
completed story.
yeah, it is
This is the
completed.
same author as The World God Only Knows.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and you know, from The World God Only Knows to this one,
Yeah.
they're like opposite things.
Completely.
'Cause you know, like yeah, The World
Wow,
God Only Knows, it's
interesting.
kind of like it's kind of like a romantic one, but it's more like a
Yeah.
harem style,
Yeah.
a bit shonen.
Uh-huh.
And this one, it's seinen one. It's
Uh-huh.
you know, adult romance. But
That
it's
is
a
so
pretty wholesome
funny.
adult romance, because you know some
Oh,
other
very,
adult
yes.
romance that we have, there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of issues involved, and this
yes.
one is pretty wholesome because these
Yeah.
people have no experience whatsoever.
Yeah. So
They've
everything
been
is
alone,
new.
and you know, I kind of like felt personally a little bit attacked because they're 25 and they're like, oh, I'm gonna be alone, and I was like, oh yeah, shut up.
Right. Try 30. Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I've gotten that far. I think I'm like in chapter 50 something or so.
Oh, you went pretty far too. Yeah.
But I really like this one, especially
It is
I like
really
as
great.
the girl
Yeah, it's
Rika,
really great.
the faces that she makes.
Oh yes.
Oh, I love those characters.
Yes.
Like even with the maid, I gotta recognize that
Yeah.
one. The maid, her name it's Juki. She's in the manga, and that's something that I'm gonna be looking forward. And the anime is like the chibi forms.
Oh, yes,
like,
yes,
it
yes.
just looks so
Yeah,
cute. And how
so
she
cute.
sometimes has no idea what's happening, and she's like, yeah. In
Nice,
here,
nice.
yeah. Oh man.
Yes. Looking forward to that. Then.
Yeah. To be
Yeah.
honest, you know, my prognostic for this anime, I don't think it's gonna be adapted completely.
Yeah,
Most likely,
probably
it's
not.
gonna be adapted until like chapter 20 something,
20s, yeah, something.
and
like
that's
that.
around the chapter where they
Uh-huh.
end the sham.
Yes. Okay. Very likely that'll be there.
So,
yeah.
but yeah, you will, with this anime, you will learn how, you know, how for a bunch of introverts how they see married and how they see marriage, because they're like, oh yeah, you know, it's like, do we really have to get married? Like, why is marriage so important? And I think that especially in, you know, in Japan, Asia, that
oh yes,
or you know, even the current times where
yeah,
people are not prioritizing getting married, mostly because of economic reasons and stuff.
right.
Because a lot of times we're like, well, if I'm getting married, I don't want to struggle with money and stuff.
I don't want to worry about that.
Yeah, but in here they also go to the interpersonal level where they're like, well, if I'm getting married, I won't be able to travel, I won't be able to do this and that, because I would be chained to another person, and we would have to compromise, and they go through all this stuff, and I thought that was really cute, because it was like it was really innocent love. It was like, it looks really pure, because it doesn't even go to physical.
Right, it doesn't. Yeah, and even like how it's gonna be living together. So yeah, it's such a cute anime.
Yeah, and the girl,
it's gonna
the
be
girl likes rocks and maps.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cute.
Oh yes, rocks and maps. Yeah, so funny. And the guy has a pet cat. Yeah.
Yeah, and the pet cat doesn't like him.
Oh my god!
Like every cat.
Seriously, yeah, I can't believe it. He like tries to take pictures of the cat, but they're always pictures where it's like the tail or like the butt. It's so funny.
But yeah, this is one of the ones that I'm waiting for, because it's really cute.
Very cute.
The manga has finished, so if you want to go look at it after the anime is done, you can go ahead.
Definitely.
Another one that I want to mention, Natsume Jinchu Shinshi, or Natsume Book of Friends, season 7. This is one of my favorite series. Like, I'm no kidding. Like, every day at work, like, that's the first, like, I always put the soundtrack of Natsume Jinchu Shinshi.
Wow.
Like, my favorite season is season 2.
Okay.
But for people who don't know, and you still have time to watch 1 to 6, this is about a boy that can't see yokai. He doesn't have parents. He's living with his uncles, and he's a little ostracized because he has this gift. Before him, his grandma was also able to see spirits, but his grandma was like hardcore. And she wrote the names of a lot of yokai to pretty much bound them to her, to turn them into, familiars or servants.
Oh, right.
And now that the grandma has passed away, he found this notebook with all these names, and he's a pretty wholesome boy. But that booklet with the names of the yokai also represents that you can control them. So there are a lot of demons that want, even if their name is on that book, they want that book just so that they can control other demons or other yokai. And what Natsume starts to do is that he just starts returning the name of the yokais. And once they return the names, a lot of times they just pass away. They are freed.
I see.
And with him, there's always Nyanko Sensei, whose real name is Madara. It's like a huge fox spirit that he's one of the bad ones, but he gets really attached to Natsume.
Okay.
It's a really wholesome one.
Yeah.
It's a really low paced. It's in the countryside, but yeah, like watch it and you're just gonna be like,
wow. Yeah. It's amazing.
So yeah, this is like, honestly, I never thought that we would have like another season.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great story. It goes a little bit into drama because there are some institutions that, funnily enough, they are also trying to get the booklet because they just want more power. They just want to control more yokais.
Yeah.
And Natsume is like, dude, no, don't be a jerk.
Oh, yep.
So yeah,
that's amazing. For this next one, it's Raze wa Tanengai or Yakuza Fiance. So a little bit of a caveat here. I didn't read very far in this one. I read just the first few chapters, but it's a really interesting one where you get two people who are very involved with the Yakuza. Like the one guy, he's the boss of the Yakuza in this particular city, but then she comes from another family where her dad is involved with the Yakuza also. Obviously, the families know each other. She gets sent over as like a bride-to-be and whatnot. But then this guy, his personality is trash. Literally trash. He's a terrible guy. And he's a masochist. So, they have a relationship at the beginning where...
Wait, he's a masochist? So he...
Yeah.
Oh.
So he wants to be like dominated or
okay, damn.
But the thing is, her personality, she's more, I guess you could say, more of a country person. She's from Osaka. It's kind of weird, and I've only read the first few chapters. So
okay.
So yeah, definitely watch it if you like Yakuza, but also it's for mature audiences, I would say. Since
the art style seems it doesn't have that roundness of
for sure. She basically is told off by him if he says like, if you're gonna be here, like at least earn some money, like use your face or your body to like earn money that way. So it throws her off, but she comes back saying like, like I sold a kidney, here's the money, so like in your face, and if anybody messes with me, I'm gonna pay them back tenfold and whatnot. And he's like, whoa, you turned me on, like
she sold a kidney.
Let's go.
Freaky.
Yeah.
Man.
So granted, I didn't read very far, but man, give it a try. It's gonna be wacky.
Man.
It's gonna be a wacky one for sure.
Okay, the next one, it's another villainous one. It's called Rekishi ni Nokuru Akuju ni Naruso. I'll become a villainess who goes down in history.
Yeah.
And again, your standard story. Girl passes
Right.
away. She actually liked the villainess better, and when
Mhm.
she comes to her senses, she noticed that she's villainess, and she's like super excited. So
Ooh, yeah.
in a way, this is a slightly different story because all the other
Yeah.
villainesses are like, oh no, I've done a lot of things and I'm gonna be
Mm,
pursued and killed because of the actions that I will be making. But they're
right.
essentially good people, so they just start doing good things,
And yeah,
and and
and changes
and
their
yeah,
future.
it changes
Mhm.
their future, it changes the story completely.
Mhm.
But in this case, this girl, the villainess is called Alicia. She is like, cool, I'm gonna be
Yep.
the best villainess, because he kind of she kind of like wrote some notes of like, yeah, she could have done this better, and it's like I'm gonna be the
Ah.
best villainess. Like, I know that the stuff that the villainess on the game lacked, so I'm gonna
Mm,
put up on that.
change and
And
be
she's pretty
better.
logical. She's
Mm.
a factual girl.
Ah, yes.
And it's also the story where the love targets feel kind of like attracted to her
Ah,
because of her wits and stuff.
mm.
But when the heroine appears, all of the love interest start to look at her,
Ah,
except
mhm.
one of them, which is the prince.
Ah, yep.
The prince is still intrigued by her. And one thing with the heroine, excuse me, is that the heroine is not exactly a good person.
Mm,
She is a very hopeful girl that thinks that pretty much as long as you're good with people, people is gonna be back to you. And she has, this
yeah.
something that makes people love her, and to a point radicalize, to the point that
Oh,
if there's anyone else that do not agree with her, they become violent. And the other thing is that this heroine, she's a prodigy in
mm,
everything, like every magic. Like, she's super smart. She's not a noble, but still
ah,
she has
mhm.
proved herself. And in the case with her, she is kind of like also a prodigy, but only in dark magic.
Oh, yep. Dark magic.
And she starts helping people in a lot of ways, but she's like, hey, you're gonna pay me back. And he's like, but what do you mean? That's why I help you. I'm the and that's the funny thing, that she's always claiming she's the villain. It's like,
Oh,
I'm the
yes.
villain. Like, if I help you, it's not out of the goodness of my heart. You're gonna do something for me. But somehow
Mm,
people also kind of like start to feel attracted to her because they're
oh,
like,
yeah.
she's fair. Like, she's helping me, I will help her. And not like
I
not
see.
like the heroine, that she's like, no, we should love everyone and help people. And everyone is like,
Mm.
yeah,
Let's
totally
go.
agree with that. We should do that. So,
Mm,
it's I don't think that one season will be enough
mm,
to to extract all the story,
yeah.
but it should give you like a probably like a good intro. Like, and
Intro.
if you want to
Ah, I
more,
see.
if you want to know more about the story,
Yeah.
I guess you could always go to the light novel.
Ah, yes. So this next one is Ao no Miburo, or I think it's like Blue Assassins or something like that. Uh,
Hmm.
and it's a samurai one, a period anime, where these two samurai they um, they basically save these two kids from getting kidnapped, and then the the boy he joins them to learn about like being a samurai and how to fight because he wasn't able to do anything when they were in danger. Um, but it's going to be another interesting one where this boy goes out, learns how to be a samurai. I hope there's going to be a lot more with like the fighting and stuff, um, since he is going along with these samurai. They're Ronin, so they don't have like
The masterless
they're
samurais.
masterless
Yeah. Okay.
exactly. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Um, I'm definitely gonna give it a try. Oh, and everyone mistakes the boy as an old grandma because he has like that silver hair look.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of comedic in that regard.
this is gonna be an honorable mention. It's the remake of Ranma One Half.
Mhm.
This one, there's some actually drama behind it because it was
Really?
leaked.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was leaked. Like I haven't watched it because I actually
Ah.
wanna wait for the
Yes,
time
yeah,
it comes.
for sure.
But
Mhm.
the entire episodes, like all of them, leaked.
No way. Oh, that's
And
bad.
it's like, damn. But
Dude.
it's about the story about this young boy that he's
Mm,
a kung fu master or like a
mm,
martial arts master or I guess a student,
uh,
and while fighting with his dad on some kind of like spiritual punts, he falls into his dad falls into a panda one, and he turns into a panda, and then he just starts laughing at him. So
yeah.
that sends him into a pond of a girl that died there, so he turns into a girl.
Mm.
And for the most of it, it it was just how he is living now with another martial artist family that they have a dojo,
Mm, mhm.
and they have this arranged marriage. But things turn out weird when they notice that he can turn into a girl and all of that.
Yeah.
It was perfect in the 90s.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah.
And
It's
now I'm interested in seeing if they change stuff, or if they or if they
yeah.
just improve the art.
The art style. Ah, yes. Yeah.
Okay. One of the first garbage animes that we have, well, we have a lot of it.
Oh, yes.
This is especially hot.
Oh, yes.
It's called Hitoribochi no Isekai Kuryaku, or Loner Life in Another World. For starters, he's never alone.
Mm. Ah, yes.
So is this group, this entire group in a school that gets isekai, but when they were isekai, he kind of like sneak out and ended up in some other place, and
Yeah.
then the god tells him like, dude, like, what do you do? Like everyone chose their powers
Their powers
already, and now
already.
we have
Oh, yeah.
only these crappy powers.
Oh, you're right, right.
And
And it's like really weird ones, like neat or uh, like appraisal stuff like
yeah,
that.
appraisal and like
Uh-huh.
health, and it's like
Yeah.
it's just like you're just healthy, and
Yeah.
but then it turns out that that's like for endurance and for poisons, and they're like, what the freak is that? But yeah, it turns out that this boy, like, for starters, false advertising.
Right.
He's never
Yeah.
alone. He's always like, oh no, I want to be alone, but
Mm.
he always ends up saving the day just so
Mm.
that he can be alone. And yet at the end of the day, he's never alone because he always has
Yeah.
the group of his classmates always behind him, even though he's only alone for like most likely 1 or 2 episodes of the anime will be. After that, he's always with someone. And
yes.
it was weird because apparently he couldn't form any parties,
Oh, right.
and yet he always has people.
Yes, people.
So he's like,
yeah, like subjects, right? He like dominates them
yeah,
for some reason.
yeah. So he can have kind of like familiars or minions.
Yes, yeah.
But he's like,
That's it.
that's a party, you idiot.
It is. Yeah.
So yeah, the story writing has a bunch of holes that are never addressed. And at the end of the day, they don't have to be addressed. It's a light novel. It's an isekai.
Yeah.
We already know how the skeleton for an isekai goes, so
that's right.
It's not perfect writing.
Right. So this one is Amagami-san Chino and Musubi, or tying the knot with an Amagami sister. So this has a few cliches, like this boy, he's trying to become a doctor, he was studying hard, and he wants to be in a place where it's helpful for him to study well. So he goes to a shrine basically for free lodging, and so he can focus on studying. But the thing is, there are 3 sisters there, and they always think he's a pervert because he's like, taking advantage of them or something like that. So it's a lot of cliches, a lot of that stuff. But then the grandpa comes in, he's like, oh, you're gonna marry one of my granddaughters. And that's the caveat to the whole thing for this anime. So take it as you want. Like, if you want to try it out, definitely go for it.
He's like, I love your daughter and don't think that I'm doing it for the money.
Yeah.
Which daughter? Oh, it doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's a 17-year-old. I think one of them is 20, and then the other is like 14 years old. So there's an age range.
Okay, yeah, dude, so, don't choose the lolly.
Right.
Don't choose the underage.
But oh my gosh, yeah. Well, yeah, they all have different personalities. They all interact with him differently. So yeah, a bunch of cliches all thrown together. So give it a whirl.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Speaking of underage, though.
Ah, yes. Oh, yes.
This next one is the do-over Damsel conquers the Dragon Emperor. This is hot garbage as well. Terrible writing.
Oh, yes.
Like I'm not gonna watch this because
really?
it was. Yeah, I didn't like it. So here's the thing. It's this is not a villainous one. It's just a girl that also goes back in the past, and it's really messed up.
It is.
It's really messed up because she's like she is like 16 years, like when the manga starts or when the anime is going to start. She's like 16 years. She's fighting a bunch of guards, and then there comes the prince who was supposed to be this girl's fiance. But turns out that the prince decided to go on a Sweet Home Alabama route with his sister. And, she found out and she was like, what the is happening? And then the dude was like, oh, she's trying to kill me and take control. And it's like, he's so freaking sick. Secret. Yeah.
Yep.
So she gets killed and, she's like, oh, I have a lot of regrets and I couldn't save my people because she is really good at the military stuff.
Yes.
So like time is rewinded back to when she was like 10 or 11 years old, to the moment where she met the prince, on the day that he was going to ask her to become his fiance.
Yep.
So she is trying like crazy to avoid that to happen. So she goes to pretty much the first person that she sees and she tells like, oh, I've been captivated by your beauty and I want to marry you. And the dude is like, well, he's not exactly old, but the dude is like 18 years old.
Yeah, 18. Mm-hmm.
So still kind of the age gap. And the dude is like, you do? Okay, then I accept.
And he takes her away to his country.
Yeah, but it turns out that this guy is pretty infamous. He's the next in line for the throne, but apparently he's cursed. And this goes back to a story of the god dragon and the goddess of war, how they kind of like love each other, but then the goddess of war was a beep, and she was crazy. And now, like, ever since that, like, the goddess of war wants to monopolize this dragon god, which is supposed to be him, or at least he's like the reincarnation, because he has, as you can see here in the picture, there's a small dragon. That small dragon can only be seen by the girl and the dude. And apparently anyone who can see the dragon, it's also kind of like the reincarnation, or could be like a vessel for the goddess of war. And it's like it's pretty messed up because
he kind of uses her too in a way,
but she's a kid and
yeah
but the dude is also, it's, I wouldn't say pretty wholesome, but he's pretty innocent.
Yes, at this point of his life,
so he's like,
could say that.
He doesn't even dare to do something as lewd as holding the hand of the little girl. And it's hard garbage, so watch it at your own discretion. Another garbage that we have. I just wanted to talk about this one because I just needed to get it out of my system, just
Okay.
like for good.
Yeah.
It's this one. It's Party kara Tsuihou sareta Sono Chiyushi Jitsu wa Saikyou no Tsuki. Yeah, that was pretty good.
That's pretty good. Nice. Nicely done.
And it's this dude that he's a healer,
Mm.
but he gets kicked out because apparently he can only do a basic heal out of this S rank party.
Mhm.
And same story as always. Turns out that this healer was not your run out the mill healer. He was, even though he only had like basic heal, he could cure poison and this and that. He was like a level 6 basic healing.
Yes.
But then after he's kicked out, and apparently like in this town that he's at, there's a lot of corruption within the guild. So he's ostracized because he's like, oh no, he's a useless healer because he doesn't heal. But he's more like a multi-class healer. He just put a little more levels on the healing part, but everything else he's like a barbarian.
Yep.
Or like a ranger. Kind of like put it into D&D terms. It's like he's more like a barbarian, a ranger, because he's more of going like a hand-to-hand combat, and the healing is just like the
plus.
The plus of like, oh yeah, I'll heal you, but I'm going there.
Nice.
But yeah, it's pretty standard, pretty cliche. The party then they're like, oh yeah, we need you, so we forgive you. Come back with us. And by the time he already has another party with another girl that apparently is super good. Yeah, it was. It is bad. It is bad. Out of all the ones that I've seen where he's kicked from the party, this is the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Dang, that's saying something.
Yep.
So another one is Chikyu no Undo ni Tsuite, or about the movement of the earth, or let's see, orb on the movements of the earth. So this one is like, would you say it's like a historical anime? It's set in a long time ago. Where this guy,
it might be historical. I don't know the details if it actually happened on there, but it's certainly it's situated on a time where that stuff happened.
Oh yes, definitely, because the ones in power is like the church, and it's a kind of like a medieval setting.
Yeah, it's still 15th century Poland.
Yeah,
church.
Poland, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
The church, the Catholic Church,
at
that time were in their prime, with their ideas.
Yeah, and the theology, and this guy, he's in this time of his life where he's deciding on going to university, and it's a very prestigious type deal, and he declares that he's gonna learn theology, and so theology would be the way for him to, become
a priest.
Yeah. Like he's gonna make a name for himself, and he's gonna learn all this great stuff. And the thing is, he dabbles in astronomy and looking up at the stars. And here's the catch, though. Everybody thinks everything revolves around the earth, or that the earth
that
is
was
the
the
center
idea
of the
back
universe.
at the time.
And so and it's like, that idea of, things that are heavy fall to the earth, and so earth must be at the center of everything, and then things that rise up are like gases, and then like the heavens are what we see of the sky, and it's above us, so it's more perfect than like the earth, which is heavy. And then he meets up with this guy who's just released from the church,
the Inquisition,
yeah, basically. And the thing was, this guy is a heretic or was a heretic. He repented, or
Right?
right? But he only declared that he changed so he can get out of prison, and so he's basically taking notes of the stars and the movement of the moon and the sun, and he thinks that the sun is the center. And so this guy, he's also trying to like go into that train of thought, but again, it's trying to move away from that thought of the theology where the earth is the center. So
Yeah, because at this time, the Inquisition, they were ruthless.
Yes.
Like, whatever knowledge they didn't invest on science, they would invest it on torture machines.
Yes, that's the thing. Yeah, it's a terrible time.
One of the things that I liked about this anime, or at least this manga, I didn't read enough. I only read like 7 or 8 chapters.
Oh, okay.
Is that the main character changes?
Yes.
Because Rafal, he is not the main character for a long time.
That threw me for a loop.
It was like here the main character, it's the idea of the truth behind Earth's movement.
Yeah.
Because even Rafal says there's a point where Rafal is like, no, it's gonna take me like 40 years to put it out there, to complete everything. And
super long time.
And the thing is that, the Inquisition is attacking everyone who dares to ruin the perfect world in which they are already living. Because they're like, we're happy. The church controlling everything. We're happy. Ooh, yeah. We don't need to put these innovative ideas of like the earth moving around. We are the center of the universe. And you don't need to know more because we only need the Bible. But then a lot of people appear saying like, I also believe in God, but I don't think that's enough. I think that if God created this, then if it needs to be perfect, the way that we have our ideas right now, that doesn't seem perfect nor beautiful.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's this clash of beliefs.
Yeah.
That also kind of like started, that reformation of the beliefs in God, of how people started speaking up against the church, saying like, you don't have everything.
And we look at science and observations.
Yeah, and like science and even theology, how theology changed during that time.
Definitely.
It changed a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of it focuses on that idea of like how a group of people pretty much suffered just so that this theory of the Earth's movement or the stars in general came to be, to change the world as they knew it, back at the time.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah,
really interesting one. I'm definitely going to give this a try. Really looking forward to it.
Oh, I want to talk about this one.
Okay.
It's called Suma Shogukusei ni Naru. If my wife becomes an elementary school student. I remember I read this manga when it was starting back in, or at least the translation, back in 2019.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
It messed me up.
Really? Whoa.
It sounds weird. Right. I know what you're thinking. I know that you might be trying to call the police on me right now. But no. So the story, it's about a family guy. He's like a 40 years old guy or something like that, or maybe 50. He's a middle-aged man.
Yes.
And he has a daughter. The daughter is also like 20 something. He graduated from school, and it's been 10 years since the wife of this dude died in a car accident.
Oh.
And ever since those 10 years to the present, he's just not over it. He's down in the slums. Same with the daughter. the wife was the pillar of the family, and they, they eat together, but it's not like they cook together. It's like, they preheat food, and they're like, how was your day? Good. And they're not leaving until one day an elementary school girl knocks on the door, and he's like, oh, are you lost, little girl? And he's like, so I'm gone 10 years and this is what you become? And he's like,
oh my goodness,
what
in the world?
He's like, I'm back. And he's like, I'm not following. He's like, I'm your wife. And he's like, what the freak is happening? And it sounds weird. It is weird. It is weird.
It is. Yeah.
So the manga is completed. It has like 100 and something chapters, 111, I believe.
Okay.
But this is a wholesome story. As messed up as it sounds,
right.
It never goes physical.
Okay.
So yeah. Put down the phone, right?
Oh yes.
It never goes physical. This is more an emotional journey about, accepting that.
Oh, I see.
And especially in the case of this guy, accepting that his wife died, but that didn't mean for him to, also stop living.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the wife reincarnated. It's more like the wife spirit possessed the girl, because the girl, she is also living in a really precarious familiar situation, because the mom, I don't remember if the mom is divorced, but she's a single mother and she treats her daughter as garbage. And the only thing that helps is that the wife, the wife's name is Takai, is that she, she's an adult, she is resilient, but otherwise it would have been really, really bad for a kid, because the girl's, she's autonomous. She makes good food for her. She even starts making food again for her husband,
for the guy.
And the husband it's weird, because he's still in during this process of loss, that he's like, she's back, we can get married again. And he's like, whoa,
I see,
chotomate.
Right.
But then it's most like the wife, it's like, no, like, this is not gonna be forever. Like, like there comes a point where the wife tells her, like, I'm not here forever, so I'm just here just so that you get your crap together, because the fact that I'm gone doesn't mean that you have to be down in the slums forever.
I see.
And he's like, but you were everything for me. He's like, yeah, and that's fine, and I appreciate it, but get your crap together. And he's like, it's such, I don't know, it's one of those mangas that grabs your heart and just like makes crumbles out of it. The art style seems like pretty silly. This seems to be like a pretty silly manga, but boy, ends up being something like heart-wrenching. Wow. It's really good. I don't think they're gonna adapt all of it. They should though.
Okay.
But oh boy,
that sounds incredible.
Yeah. It was a great read. The next one, this one, it's called Hoshifuru Okuku no Nina, Nina the Starry Bride. That's hard garbage.
It is. Yes.
it's more dramatic than what it should have.
Yeah.
And it's really messed up as well.
It is. There's this royal family who loses a daughter, and then this guy brings in an orphan, essentially, to be the body double of the princess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And turns out that
it's pretty messed up.
And it turns out that this guy, he's the prince. He's also a body double.
Yeah. That was
and
so
you know that royal family
crazy to
itself,
me.
it's so messed up.
It's messed up. Oh yeah, the queen, the current king is kind of messed up too. Jeez Louise, yeah, they're all messed up.
But yeah, one of the things that I didn't like, it's that the girl, she doesn't do anything. She's always like, oh, I can be the force of change. And then she messes up so bad, and
yes,
and a lot of things happen because of her stupidity. Because sometimes she's like, oh, I'm because the kingdom, it's kind of like in the midst of war with a bigger kingdom.
Yeah,
she's like, oh, and also she falls in love with the prince, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna go to this other kingdom because I want the kingdom where I live in and my crush to live happily and secure, so I will go marry. And she ends up pretty much seducing the prince of that other kingdom, because she pretty much tells him like, oh, I want you to fall in love with me. And the dude, he's a cold guy, but he ends up falling in love with her. And then drama comes because the prince becomes a king, and he's like, oh, I'm here to bring you back, and it doesn't matter now. But the other prince of the other kingdom is like, oh, now I love you. Like, was your love a lie? And she's like, oh, crap. Yeah, I didn't think about that. And it's like, I'm pretty sure you didn't, girl.
Oh, yeah.
So,
goodness gracious.
A lot of drama is ensued because her stupidity.
Yes.
Like, there's no other way to call it. For the longest time, she's like, no, I'm doing a change, like, and I'm doing this and that.
Yeah.
But turns out also, like, one of the other things is that because of her eyes, her blue eyes.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is a supernatural thing with the people with blue eyes. They were called the Star People. And they had power over animals.
Yes.
And even over the hearts of people. So not a lot of people were allowed to look at those eyes. And yeah, I don't think it's gonna go that far, the anime.
Oh yeah, probably not.
But the anime, it's, I don't know, it's a lot more drama than what it should have had.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And yeah, that's the thing. It never changes things. She's always like, she wants to be this force of change, and she never is this force of change. Like, rather, problems happen because of her.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's problematic.
Boy. The next hot garbage one, Sayonara Ryosei Konnichiwa Jinsei. Goodbye, Dragon Life, and kind of like, hello, human life. Also, terrible writing.
Oh, yes.
Like, terrible writing. Or probably, maybe the problem was the translation that I read was actually pretty crappy, and maybe the story is great, but I doubt it. It's about this dragon god that one day is killed by a human, by a hero, I think. And he's like, why are you killing me? But he's like, well, this isn't so bad. And, he reincarnates into a person. He still has some dragon powers. And the main girl in here, it's Lamia. It's a snake girl. Well, kind of half snake. And I don't know, this was extremely fast paced, because as soon as he finds the Lamia, like somehow, like, they decide to travel, and crap goes down like real fast. And they're battling demons and kind of like demon gods, and I don't know. I thought that was a trashy part, because it's like
right.
I thought you wanted to do like a slow life, but it's not a slow life. It's kind of like Star Shonen one, and it's like no.
So another one is Saikyou no Shinshoko Wajutsushi de Arure wa Sakai Saikyou clan wo Shitigaru. Oh man, that's a long one. Or
are you gonna want
Huh?
Do you want to have that with fries?
Oh, oh gosh. It's like an order. Oh goodness. Or the most notorious talker runs the world's greatest clan. This one, it 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 was kind of weird for me, to be honest. This guy, he's a support type character, but he wants to be the strongest seeker or like talker, like like an adventurer. But the thing is, talker isn't really like the strongest class type, so he wants to make the strongest
Talker? Like, is that a
clan.
class? Like a bard?
It's
or...
like it's like bard. Actually, yeah, it's exactly like bard, where he can buff his teammates when they're fighting and stuff. I thought this one is a little convoluted.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, so his...
I mean, the title itself, the title
yeah,
itself.
the title itself is really long. The problem I have with this one is that he starts out with a pretty strong team, but two of the team members betrayed the rest of them. They run away with all their money and stuff, and they were in gambling debt. So he puts on a hit on them. So like other people come out and help them subjugate his old teammates now. So yeah, it's just all convoluted. He has to make a new one from scratch. So yeah, as you can see, he's holding a gun there, but I didn't see him using a gun as far as I read it. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Another one to try if you like that type of stuff.
All right, the next one.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this.
Oh yes.
For a long time.
Time.
Actually, that was pretty creepy.
That was pretty creepy.
Love Live Superstar Season 3.
Yeah.
This is the first time
yeah.
in all Love Live history that we have a Season 3.
Yes. Incredible.
And also, this is the first time.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, it's not the first time. Oh. But, we don't... on this season, we will not have the Fantastic 9. Yes. We're going to have... 3 new girls added to the group, and now we're gonna recently in YouTube they have started doing subunits, 3 subunits.
Yes.
So I'm thinking that we will see that subunits.
Nice.
This is the third year for the first 5 people from Liela, which is Canon, Kuku, Sumire, Chichan, and Rei, and yeah. Also, there has never been any Love Live where any group wins more than 2 times in a row.
Oh, I see.
So
yes,
we'll be able to see this one. Like, are the subunits are gonna be the ones entering the Love Live competition, and now they're gonna be fighting each other? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh man,
but yeah,
it's gonna be good.
This is by far my favorite Love Live. I think they started doing a great work. When did it start? Like back 2012, 2014?
2014? Ooh, I don't know off the top of my head.
But it's been a little more than 10 years, I think, since Love Live came to be. And I think that, the most recent Love Live, or even Nijigasaki is still posting some stuff. But yeah, this is kind of like they learned from all the other Love Lives what was good, what was bad, what could they improve on the art style, on everything. And and I know, I just love the songs from this one.
Oh yeah.
I think my favorite would be Liela, then Muse.
Oh yes.
Then Nijigasaki, and at the end would be Aquars.
Oh okay. Yeah.
But that's my dream. Going to a Love Live concert eventually.
Oh yes.
But I'm waiting for this one.
Yeah.
Best Girl Canon for life.
Oh yes.
The other ones are good too, but Canon. Chichan as well.
Oh okay. Oh
with the circles.
Oh yes.
But oh boy, I'm actually waiting for this one.
Nice.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out last year, but
really?
it got delayed.
Oh okay. we're finally having it.
You know, yeah, just to finish off this season finale,
Yeah.
there are a lot of animes that we're skipping because,
Oh yes.
you know, we didn't have time to research them.
Mhm.
But we have a lot of, we have quite a few original ones.
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah, one of the ones that I'm kind of like inclined to check out, it's Negative Angler or Negative Positive Angler. It's an original one. It seems pretty messed up from the description.
Oh yeah.
But you know, I like how the art looks, so I might check it out.
Definitely.
The last one that I wanna talk about, it's a 4-panel manga. It's a Tono no Inu, and it's the Warring States. It's this feudal lord that it's feared by everyone, but he gets a dog, a Inu Shiba dog,
Oh yes.
and he's the cutest thing in the world.
Oh yeah.
And you know, he starts doing these really cute and wholesome things and
Oh yeah.
being mischievous.
Wow.
And then people start seeing the Lord in another light because they're like,
Oh,
he's fearsome,
okay.
but
He's
had this adorable dog. And you know, and the dog
that's
is not
great.
fearsome at all. You're just like,
Oh yeah.
so
Oh wow.
yeah, this is one of the ones that just for you to kick back and relax.
Oh yes. Oh, that sounds fun.
Oh man, and yeah, that was it. We have a ton of few other more.
Yeah.
A few more Onas. We have the final season of Beastars.
Oh yes. Beastars.
I didn't quite follow with it. I was more reading the manga of that one,
Oh okay.
and
Right.
I got kind of sidetracked. But yeah, other than that, I think we have a. Well, I mean, we're gonna have a Sunshine in the Mirror movie
Oh.
from Love Live, the Yohane movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah. Covers everything.
Well, yeah.
Nice.
Thanks for watching.
Mhm.
If we missed any animes or if you're looking for anyone, comment or something.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we will be back eventually.
Eventually. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. See you later. Keep watching anime. Matane.
What today?